All right, guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Nick. That's Jeremy. We are the Meta Main Street, and today we are talking about something very, very sad, very important, and just all around Disney finesse to a T. After 34 years of operation, MuppetVision 3D is set to close permanently at Disney's Hollywood Studios on June 7th. The closure is going to be part of a transformation of Grand Avenue and leading into the new Monsters, Inc. theme land. Today, we're going to be talking about our salute to all the rides, but mostly MuppetVision 3D. Stay tuned, guys. All right, Jer. Well, how was your week?
It's good. It's hot. That's why I had to break out the Mickey Endless Summer Roosevelts.
Right on, man. I just got my my new Goofy movie shirt in, which I mean, I guess we could talk about that too. That they do a meet and greet right across Grand Avenue, so kind of going with the theming. They were sold out of all the Muppets Roosevelt, so I couldn't get one of those. But Jared, most importantly, we have to let everyone know that today's episode, we're joined by the Swedish Chef. He's in the control room right now doing kind of our audio for us today. So say hi, Chef.
Hey, they're hopping, their machining is going, they're flumy.
Right on, man. Well, yeah. So, guys, we apologize in advance. He's a little crazy with the controls there today. So, but yeah, man. Yeah. So it's been a week. Temperatures are rising, and we're gonna go ahead and get right into this because this is a very important week. This marks the end of an era right here, man.
It really does. It's really sad that it's going. But I'm also excited for the future of Disney's Hollywood Studios.
Absolutely. I mean, that park has just changed so much over the years. In fact, I was actually just, I didn't even think about this, but I just printed this out. It's a map of Hollywood Studios. And it's crazy to me to think about how much this park really has just changed over the past couple of years. But this is not one that Jared had made up. I will throw a link to this in the bio. We'll give credit where credit is due on that. That one was on Maker's World, so it's just a park map of that. But yeah, Jared, so tell us a little bit about it. What exactly are we still celebrating here?
Well, we're celebrating the history of Muppet Vision 3D, and with that, we have multiple prints that we're putting out in this week's episode. Our first
prints.
Our first one you saw in the intro is our Muppet Vision 3D.
So Jared, I think at no given time we're going to be stooping to any cheap 3D tricks.
No,
it's hard to go do when you have a 3D printer, but I think everyone thinks that's why I made this in the office. I'm just like, 3D? Like, is that you just saluting a 3D printer there? I'm like, oh, no. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. And
you know,
it's available on Maker World for you to download. The one on there I designed to fit in the size of a barbecue skewer or a kebab skewer. So it's pretty universal. And you can just pop it right in there. I think Nick printed his own steak on his...
Yes, we just... went crazy and I said I don't have one of those, but I have a 3D printer, so I can go ahead and make it. It's not the most, I made it with like 5 walls on it, and it's pretty much literally just a solid piece of plastic. There is no infill in this at all. It's almost 100%.
And if you're curious how I designed this, I literally took a picture of the guy with the original one and I mapped it out on the photo and did some little layer mapping for you.
So he's just been staring away too many pictures of Gonzo lately. Oh, sorry, boss. Oh, man.
Let's get into a little bit of the history of Muppet Vision 3D. Take you back down memory lane. Back in 1991 on May 16th, when this opened, exactly 1 year after Jim Henson's passing, which is very sad, but also quite the way. I would mean that's a great way to commemorate his passing. And this happened to be the last project that he ever worked on, which is really special. And his voice is featured in the show as Kermit, which is cool. So over the years, I mean, this has been around for 30 plus years.
I think it's been one of the most longest running shows, I think, at studios, correct?
Yeah, correct. I think it opened like a year or two after studios opened, but it's remarkably unchanged throughout his run. Some projection equipment updated just to improve the 3D clarity, but nothing was really changed. Nothing was ever change in the film itself from the original. If you remember, this Muppet Vision 3D actually used to be parts of Streets of America. And then when the Galaxy's Edge expansion happened, it was rethemed to Grand Avenue, which we all know and love today as much as I love Grand
Yeah,
Avenue.
that whole area got a massive facelift once Galaxy's Edge came in there. And they restructured it because, I mean, there was everything back there from going to lights, motor, action, backlot tour. I was actually watching a couple videos a while back of, I think it was Josh from Resort TV One, like years and years ago, of him actually on the backlot tour, and I'm like looking around, like my word. Which actually, Jared, we didn't include this in here, but I remember back at the backlot tour, the fire engine that Kermit uses
Oh, you're right.
was actually part. It was right
Yes.
behind the studio for it.
And you're absolutely correct there. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, no, and I think it is important to note before we get too far into this that I think Disney considers this one to be a ride, less of a show, was the way they kind of considered it, only because of the way that people are kind of ran through it. I think the animatronics, that sort of thing. I don't know. What would you classify this as, Jer?
I don't know. I feel like Disney likes to put a blanket on all their things and just call them attractions.
Fair enough. Yep.
Yeah, so I usually just keep it in that category. It's pretty much a hybrid in my opinion. But if you're technically speaking, you are sitting down and watching I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't know. I just go off of. I know Ron did an all day Muppet Vision 3D, and God bless his soul. I think after that episode, after that stream, I could pretty much recite it word for word. And I know he only usually does it for just rides only. So I was curious on that, but no, I think you are right. I think we can go with that blanket statement, but I know it's certainly one of my favorite shows.
Yeah, absolutely.
Attractions.
Over the years, it's been great. And there's a fun fact about this. There actually used to be one at Disney's California Adventure, where at the Hyperion Theater, which I did not realize it was there, and it closed in 2014. So literally right before we went for the 60th anniversary to make way for Frozen, I was at the opening day of that Frozen show. So I just missed Muppet Vision 3D, not by too much.
Well, dude, unfortunately, we got to let it go.
Of course, unfortunately, we do. Which brings us in to our first topic, which is, Nick, let's talk about some of our favorite moments or memories of Muppet Vision's 3D.
Oh man, we're going down memory lane here with some of these. This is it's one of those things that when I think Hollywood Studios, this is what I think of is going on this attraction, and I'm amongst some of the others, but this is this really is the number one. And I mean, I guess I can start off on it. I guess for me, my two favorite out of the whole show, I think, has to be Statler and Waldorf. Just everything about those guys. They are just iconic. All the lines they say, yeah, let's move it to Pittsburgh, or, we can't get up, you old fool, we're bolted to the floor, or something like that. It's just getting that third element outside of that wall and breaking it. And the Muppets did that so often. I think it was really fantastic to go ahead and see them in there in that sense, especially sitting in the booth up top there, so kind of part of the audience, that sort of thing. I think for me that was just one of the most the most fun parts about it, just that commentary behind it, and then of course Fozzie Bear breaking that wall too of oh, not you guys again, we're gonna shower you with, what kind of act is that? Oh, it's an act of mercy.
I didn't have to prepare any soundbite, any sound bites for Statler and Waldorf because Nick just could do them all himself.
I just have them all,
Yeah.
Like those penguins, man. They're only in it for the halibut, and that's just, again, just everything about them. The jokes behind it were just so relatable, and the Muppets always kind of breaking that wall of just borderline, adult humor, still funny for the kids, but very humorous for the adults, and that's always been just something that's been awesome to go through. I think one of the next things that's become a staple in my house. Chef, do you want to go ahead and cue it up for me here and let me know what we're talking about?
Oh yeah, we're always ready.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, the one thing that it's become a staple in my house is a saying by Sam Eagle, and it kind of goes a little something like this:
Go away. Go away.
Yeah, we just look at each other now and just say, "Go away, go away." It's just become a thing. I don't know why. I could not tell you. It's just that very stately Sam Eagle just going, "Go away." It's I don't know. It's become something in my household, and I don't understand it, but I love it.
I don't.
So we're gonna roll with
I
it.
don't think one line that Sam Eagle says in the entirety of MuppetVision 3D isn't incredibly quotable or what's the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, it's incredibly patriotic.
Yeah, incredibly patriotic, but like it's iconic. Like everyone knows every line that he says.
Yes, and I mean it, and I think in the long run, when Jim Henson was really going ahead and designing this, I think he tried to go do that because there's a lot of nods to that in here too. Like we talk about the salute to all nations, but mostly America. Really again referring to his presence even in EPCOT. And I did read a couple articles saying that that's kind of what some of the idea was too, because they were trying to make EPCOT such a big, bold statement with the America Pavilion that he was going to be the showcase of it, and that they wanted him to really be that kind of spokesperson to kind of go through it all. So, I mean, it makes sense, because he's going to keep everything moving, and he's the one that keeps everyone in orderly fashion, and keeps everything rolling right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think one of the other big parts has to be the fact that they ask Bean at the very last act, just something totally and utterly ridiculous. Of what can Bean go ahead and do? That's a little bunny that's in the show, and they tell him that he can set off the fireworks.
After it seems like he can't get anything to go right, they're like, let's put this guy in charge of fireworks.
And, you can just hear the hesitation in Kermit's voice of just, I guess. And, he starts setting these things off. And they start going crazy. I mean, they go nuts, so much so that they start going in the theater themselves. And I don't know if it was added later on. I'd have to look back at footage from years ago, but the fireworks that they don't project on the ceiling, but they use LEDs to kind of go ahead and make like this fountain effect of the fireworks going on there. It's just, yet another part that's just kind of dazzling in the show itself. And it's something I kind of enjoy. It's fun to kind of go ahead and see that and see that kind of, it's one of those things that's it's hidden in plain sight. You just don't see it. And all of a sudden it pops up. It's really cool to see. And I think my last part, I mean, obviously, guys, we're not going in any particular order whatsoever today. We're just appreciating everything Muppet Vision 3D. But towards the beginning of the show, Kermit goes ahead and, after Gonzo does his whole 3D thing, almost gets hit by a ironing board. He walks over to the lab. And he tells us that he invited prestigious scientists from all across the world, but unfortunately, none of them showed up. And I think that's about the funniest thing ever, to go ahead and see that, to all of a sudden seeing Beaker and Dr. Bunsen Honeydew to go ahead and show us their experiments that they've been working on, which I did learn a fact about their experiment. I don't know if you've known this, Jer, but Waldo, the spirit of 3D, actually has a full name. Do you know what it is?
I do not.
Waldo C. Graphic.
Oh, that's pretty clever.
That's I did not know that until I started looking him up, and sure enough, that popped up. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But anyways, man, enough about my favorite parts. What are your favorite parts about this? What are some things that been exciting for you over the years?
Yeah, I mean, I'll take you back all the way to the pre-show. I mean, I think that's where this attraction really starts. The minute you walk through those doors and that pre-show starts, you almost want to get there right when a theater just lets in so you can wait and watch the entire pre-show, because so many iconic and funny scenes come out of there.
Yeah, that's not a show that you want to get like there the minute of as people are running in. At least not for me.
Absolutely not. The pieces that I think about the most are Gonzo when he's tap dancing with a pot of flowers on his head. And it's funny because if you've been to the pre-show, and hopefully you have, if you're listening to this episode, they have 3 monitors and Gonzo's tap dancing in all 3, and then the middle one drops the pot and the other one goes and helps him. it was pretty funny, and I'm like, oh, that's great. But yeah, I love the pre-show. Another part that is like I like sticks in my brain, like I can never get it out, is when Sam Eagle gets all excited because he's been told that there's a special guest here,
Yes.
and it goes a little something like this.
Cue it up, Chef.
Mr. Mickey Mouse.
Hello, hi there. Welcome to my park.
Yeah, what happened there is Sam Eagle thinks he's introducing Mickey Mouse, and it's no other than Rizzo the Rat, but dressed as Mickey Mouse.
That is no mouse. That is a rat.
Yeah, that's a rat. It's so funny.
Go away.
Yeah, and then like, what is? And then Rizzo's like, what do you know? They're just tourists. But it was funny, and probably from the show, I have so many great moments. You hit on so many of the great ones. But Swedish Chef, when he brings that, Swedish Chef, we didn't talk a little about him. He's of course with us today,
Their machine is going der flumy.
making sure everything's going well. But he's also a really cool animatronic in the back of the theater. I don't know many attractions where it's a full 360-degree experience like that. And he has, and he comes in with a big cannon at the finale, which is pretty cool. It's just the way it works is awesome. And the whole theater blows up, and it looks like the theater is in ruins. It's a really neat effect they do with some fake walls and some projections. And then it fixes itself right back up for the next show. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, Chef is not very tolerating of target practice and all that. Waldo's going ahead and ticking him off. He just escalates, pretty heavy. And then the Penguins, they get their cannon out. It's like a whole-on war in there.
I
man.
know it did escalate very quickly in that scene, but always a fun time.
Absolutely. And then at the end, that's when we see that fire truck. Kermit comes out, and he tells us that he hopes to see us again real soon. And I know I sure as heck hope to see him again real soon. Well, maybe not, definitely not here, but hopefully elsewhere.
Yeah, true. Well, Nick, I would love to hear about some of your favorite Easter eggs from MuppetVision 3D.
I don't have too many of them. The one that I will definitely bring up is I have a newfound love for Pepe the Prawn.
Who does not? He went viral.
Listen, on the Disney cruise, okay, not to shift gears, he has his own room by the kids area. It's a little door, little tiny door. I'll see. Actually, I definitely have a picture of it. I'll throw it in here after all this. But yeah, with that, he's got a little door. He's got little vacation photos, all that stuff. Well, in MuppetVision 3D, he has his own monitor, and they overlaid everything on these with just like different like shows that he could be in. Like instead of Tron, we have Prawn with Pepe the King Prawn.
It's so funny.
And like, I mean, it's just like so ridiculous, some of the things they put him in. And that's like the most notable for me, I think. I mean, I know, that there's some that you want to hit on and all that too, but it's just everything about that queue is just so Muppet-esque. I mean, the way that they do everything, the way everything's like shown in there, just they don't care that it looks beat up or there's graffiti on the walls. It's like straight like things telling you where stuff is just written on the walls.
Yes.
Then you look, and sure enough,
The
it
whole
is.
theme back there is you're supposed to be like in the props department. That's why you find so many different items and interesting things. A little bit on Pepe. He's awesome. I mean, he's got quite the swagger to him. He loves the ladies. It's honestly, he's probably the funniest of the current Muppet character lineup. But yeah, in addition to the prawn poster, I know they also have this one that I found in my pictures, which is
Yes.
Pirates of the Amphibian at Wit's End. I thought that was really funny.
No, and I think it's important to note too that I think we looked this up last time. Pepe actually came after I think Jim Henson.
Yes, I believe so.
That's why he's not in the official show. But he is on some of the monitors in here because he is part of the Muppet family. And I think he was actually first introduced in some of the newer movies like Treasure Island and stuff like that. I know he's got a huge following in those movies and all that. But it's just so awesome. They have that monitor there that's just flashing through different Disney style movies that they've done some photoshopping and all that. It's so funny.
It's really funny. I love
Um,
what they do with it.
absolutely. No, but that being said, though, man, I mean, what are some of your favorite Easter eggs that were
Yeah,
in
so
there?
thinking back to the times, like I remember you would come in and you would see this upon your entry, right when you walk in the attraction on your right before you even hit the pre-show area, is where the security guard desk is, and there's a sign and it says "Be back in 5 minutes. Key is under the mat." And you'll never guess it, but if there's a mat on the ground and if you lift it up, there's a key glued to the floor, which is I think a pretty neat Easter egg for sure.
Yeah, no, they love just throwing these little things in here, and it's just yeah, they do such a good job of it. I mean, that whole courtyard too. Even they have Miss Piggy as like the Statue of Liberty and as the fountain in the square there and everything. I mean, just that whole area has just got so many Easter eggs. That middle building that they open sometimes for the different events and all that they do, like that I think was supposed to originally be like the paint department. It was kind of the idea behind it or something like that. There's all different cans of paint that are like life sized in the back there, paint splatterings, that sort of thing. All the way over to PizzaRizzo, and there's so many in PizzaRizzo. I mean, we could go on and on talking about that.
Yeah.
Even the wedding chapel or dance hall, whatever you want to call it, upstairs, that's got a whole bunch in it.
That's true.
Yeah. But yeah, Jared, what about
I do have some more.
what about some other ones for you?
I
Yeah,
have,
keep going, man.
Another of my favorite, this one I think really warms the heart, is in the rafters. You can find a Muppet version of Jim Henson, which I think is really, really cool. If you know what it is, it's awesome. And I'm sure they'll preserve and put this somewhere really special. So,
Absolutely. No, I didn't even know that was up there, man, to be quite honest with you. There's so much other stuff going on in that pre-show area. That's just crazy. I mean, I mean, even all the way down to the lights on the side over by where you would walk in and all that. It's like, one lit, stay back or something like that. I mean, it's got like just so many random things just plastered all over the place in there, including I think I don't know if you have a picture of it or not, but we even have the official tuxedo of Kermit the
I did
Frog
not have a
up
photo
front.
of that, but yes, there is the official tuxedo of him in there.
Yes. No, there's some very famous artifacts that should be in a museum, and I think will have to be after this attraction closes.
And we're gonna have this. We'll talk a little bit later about that. But Nick, let's get into in addition to Muppet Vision 3D, we're gonna lose most of Grand Avenue, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Which is sad to hear, but so we're going to lose PizzaRizzo, and Mama Melrose already closed, as we discussed in a previous episode. So,
I wonder if the health department shut them down, man. I heard there's a lot of rats over there.
I heard too. It's one of my favorite things about that PizzaRizzo is on the sign for it. It says the PizzaRizzo sign. Actually, I think I have it up. I have a picture of this. Hold on. Is on the billboard on top of the building. It says the city's top rated pizza, and what will happen is at night the lettering will disappear on certain letters, so it just says it's rat pizza.
Yeah, no, that is they did such a good job with even like the old signage and everything like that over there. They did such a great job with it. Everything about that area is awesome. I mean, it's when you've entered Grand Avenue. I mean, it's everything changes. All the theming goes over to that. It's definitely Muppet World over there, to say the least.
Nick, have you ever had your chance to try any of the options over there, PizzaRizzo or Mama Melrose?
Are we going to forget Baseline Tap House?
Well, Baseline isn't closing. That gets.
I know. But that's the only one I've tried. No, I'm just kidding. I've tried PizzaRizzo, but I don't know. I figured I like Baseline so much that I have to stop
any excuse
every
to talk
time.
about Baseline we'll take. But
yes, I was going to say, man, it just has to be a thing. Anyways, no, I have been to PizzaRizzo several times. It's awesome. They have gluten-free offerings there for pizza as well for my daughter, which is just fantastic. We didn't go there very often. We like going to Backlot Express a little bit more, but we have been there, and it's iconic. I mean, it's rat pizza, man. I mean, it's what you can't get much better than that, I guess. As far as Melrose, though, no, I have not. I've walked by it. I have asked my wife to go there with me plenty of times, and her reasoning, and it makes sense. There's just something about eating a whole bunch of pasta and walking at 100-degree heat that doesn't sit too well with the tummy
I have
on
to
that
agree
one.
with you on that one.
I know it's definitely something I wanted to go do. I remember seeing the recently when they did shut down, because for those of you that don't know, Mama Melrose did shut down prior to this. It's already been gone for several weeks now. And that restaurant actually had the whole celebration for their last guest that they were seating and all that. It was a little clip of that, and everyone was clapping, and it was a whole thing. But no, it looked iconic. It was definitely your traditional Italian restaurant, from what I can tell. But that being said, Jared, I mean, you seem like you've been to these places.
Yeah,
before.
I have eaten at both.
So
of them.
fill me in.
I'll start with PizzaRizzo. That one I haven't. I probably went to like over 10 years ago, but I definitely remember having the pizza. The quality of the food there wasn't great, but as I was watching some Tim Track, and he was like, I didn't like this pizza, but like the last time I had it, I actually kind of liked it. So, and I remember the one thing I always wanted to try that I saw Mr. Morrow try was the pizza cookie. Remember when he had that?
Yes, I think I actually did try that when I went down one time. As I remember when we went, like we got like a little bit of everything. We got like we tried their salad, we tried their pizza, we tried the cookies. We were like, there was a point in time when we first went to Disney, it was few and far between when we would go on a trip. So when we would go, I mean, we just had to get everything. I mean, it was the whole spread, whether we ate it all or not. We got it all just to try it. And yeah, I remember getting that for sure. It was phenomenal. It was, I think if I remember right, it was like a cookie cake, and it just looked like a pizza or something like that on it. Am I right in
maybe
thinking
at that time, I know that like before they closed, they had, well, they're still open today, but right before they closed, it was like a sugar cookie with red frosting, and it had like pizza toppings. That all of them were like
that.
just
Yeah,
pretty sugar based. They're fondant, but
yeah, that makes more sense. I think it was. I think the one I had was a little bit bigger or something like that. Or it was like a slice of it or something. I forget. It was so long ago. I mean, I'm not 10 years, but it's at least probably like 6 or so years since I've been.
yeah. But moving over to, I mean, the other thing I want to mention about PizzaRizzo, you mentioned earlier, the ballroom upstairs, iconic. I mean, you could just go. I mean, they basically have the dancing lights going. They got the music. You could go up there and like have yourself a time, like it's nobody's business. And I'm sure that place will not have that many people sitting in it. So I expect the last day that it's open, so people are going to go up there and
it's
party.
going to be a whole party.
And I wouldn't be surprised if someone
day.
tries to get married in that room on the last day.
I can see it happening.
Funny.
In fact, I think there's a sign in there, I think, too. I forget what it says on it. But I know there is a sign that does talk about, I think it is a wedding, actually. And it talks about that on there. And that's just another thing that just hidden in the details, and another part of it too, you downstairs, you have Gonzo's Royal Flush.
That's true. And the restrooms outside.
Yeah, you got some of the best restrooms in the park right there. Apparently, again, loaded with rats, man. Gosh.
Funny. And
maybe that's why it's shutting down.
I mean, it's funny. That's really funny. They also have I remember on the trash cans, especially around PizzaRizzo, they all have different sayings on them. But good time. Now, moving over to Mama Melrose, I do have a lot of memories there. It was kind of like a tradition for us to go there for a Fantasmic dining package for a while.
That's I didn't even realize it was part of the dining package. I think we've talked about that a little bit
we
before.
talked about with it closing how it's going to affect the dining package, but
that's right. Yeah.
There was a really awesome waitress there. Her name was Holly. I was there for like my birthday / college graduation, and she made our dinner. Like, you ever go to a restaurant and the waiter or waitress sits in the booth with you and like takes your order? It's an interesting move,
happened.
but I was like, it's kind of uncomfortable at first, but her personality was so great. It was like, oh no, she's not our waitress. She's with us. She was just that good. She was super funny. She like pulled me out of my shell, and she also gifted me for my birthday / graduation a really cool pin, and you'll never guess who's on it. It's kind of interesting that she would give me a Sully
Oh,
pin.
now that's some
I
foreshadowing if I've
know,
ever
and
seen
I
it
was
before.
like, I looked at it recently, like, how did she, is this coincidence or does she know? But I was very thankful for the pin. I will hold on to this forever. It's probably like one of the least valuable pins in pin trading, but I will keep it as it's more valuable as a memory for me. So
Right on.
yeah, I mean the food there was all right. You could if you knew what you were getting, and some of the drinks there were very good. I did have some more like fruity-ish drinks. I can't remember exactly. I think it was an Italian margarita. I believe I had there, and that was very good. So we had good memories there, and then unfortunately it's going away. But I'm hoping what replaces it will be as exciting, and maybe Holly will move over to a position at Harry Houston's, or is that what it's called? Harryhausen, yes.
Harryhausen's.
Hopefully
Come
she
on.
sticks around and we
Didn't you get it right from
I
Schmootsy Poo
know,
on
right?
there? Come on, man.
So yeah, we used to go back like every year and try to find her. So
That's awesome, man. No, I mean, and we can't say it enough, guys. Cast members are what make Disney up. I mean, they are the heartbeat of Disney, and they make it what it is today. And that's another a great story and great example of that.
absolutely.
I did not realize. I'm not gonna lie. I saw that, and you said Holly on it. I swear, I thought that was your wife that was on there, and I was like, wow, it's a little weird. She's got a pin for his birthday. It may, that. Thank you for
Yeah.
clarifying.
My current
It
wife
helps
and I
quite a bit.
actually were on that trip together, but not as a couple because she's also my sister's best friend. So at the time we weren't even dating, but all these years later, we get to share that memory together, and just happens to be the way it is.
Yes, no, and yeah, trust me, guys. She loves Disney, just probably not as obsessed as
I've
we are
changed
about
her
it.
for the better, really though. Not she liked it before.
We both
She
say
liked it
that.
before, but I really put her into the fold, and I won't say I won't like air it out what happened in Disney that I was like she knows, but I won't do it on here to her. It's all good stuff.
Right on. All good things. All good things.
Anyways,
I mean, it helps. It helps when you keep 3D printing props for her, like
she
every
literally goes,
other
"Where are you
day.
gonna
Just
put that?" And I'm like, "Don't worry about it." Anyways, to commemorate, the lovely time that we've had with PizzaRizzo, though, we did release this print on Maker World this week. It kind of looks like a pizza box, in my opinion, from
it
PizzaRizzo,
does.
and so you can print this out and put it up and remember the good times with Rizzo the Rat at his pizza place. So
No, absolutely. No, they yeah, that logo is just awesome. You did such a great job on that one. And hopefully eventually you'll actually, how many colors is that one before we
that
go
one's
in
an easy
before I
one.
even say
It's
what I'm going to say
literally just
next?
white and then green and then red.
Oh, sweet. I can do that on
Yep.
the AMS. Yeah, eventually you'll be part of that club and you can just hit print. I those prints are the best. Although those are the ones he usually doesn't tell me about until later on, and then I have to go print them after the fact. He makes me do all the hard ones first.
Don't worry, I had these ones covered.
Yeah. That's why when he's like the 3D one, he's like, wow, that's huge. I'm like, well, I didn't scale it. I just left it the way it was. And it took me probably about the same amount of time it took him to go do his on
Yeah,
the
I just
Ender 3,
finished
I'm sure.
like a day-long print. I'll have to show you later. Not Disney related, but I digress.
I do Disney related. I do day-long prints like that are Disney related, and they're usually castles. I have the whole castle
Which
collection.
we're gonna do
right
an
now.
office tour one day, so we'll keep that on.
Yes, one day, and yeah, we got some ideas for some interesting episodes coming up, but we had to pause everything for this week's episode. Which, by the way, before we continue, real quick, guys, if you got this far, want to like and subscribe, we appreciate it. We're picking up in followers, man. We're picking up in people watching.
Actually, I'm climbing on the Maker World site as well. I'm getting a lot of downloads, likes.
Yes,
I posted the Muppet Vision 3D stick last night, and like within 10 minutes, someone was like, "I needed this print," and I was like, "Oh, I'm glad I could bring it to life for those people."
I think not to change gears here, but I think that is one of the biggest things that's helped me and Jer over the the past couple of years. I mean, I'm nowhere close. For those of you that don't know, what we haven't really mentioned this, but currently I work in Indiana right now. He's in Rhode Island, so it's a pretty big gap there as far as distance goes. Having a 3D printer for the two of us, well, since he got one, I've always pretty much had one. Since he got one, you have no idea how awesome it is to be able to just go ahead and say, "Hey, I made this," and then we print it out in the same amount of time. Within minutes, we're both able to go ahead and print this stuff out. It's awesome. It kind of keeps things just interesting and unique, and it's just, again, we do this all hours of the day and night. He sends just me random prints and is like, "Here you go, I made this." So it's happy to see that he's grown into this love.
Everyone
for 3D
needs a
printing
creative
now.
outlet. Nick got me into 3D printing, so that one's mine. And now this podcast is just in a really awesome addition to it. Gives us a really cool place to share our designs and also share all our Disney knowledge and memories with you guys.
Absolutely, guys. I mean, and and that's just it. We're starting to find more outlets to go ahead and share the channel on. I know that I know we've been gaining viewership and all that, and again, we can't thank you guys enough. And hopefully, it just keeps growing and just keeps reaching that that audience that we're looking for. Because if you like Disney, this is the place to be.
Nick,
So
we gotta. We don't have to move along that quickly, but I do want to get to the next topic because I think it's going to be a big one. So now Muppets Vision
boy, what do we
3D
got?
is closing. That portion of Grand Avenue is going to close. And Disney did say that they're going to preserve Muppet Vision 3D in some way. How do you hope that they accomplish this?
Ooh, that's a tough one. They've done it in a couple different ways for various rides across the park. Knowing Disney, there's going to be nods to this all across the parks, I believe, or especially within the same area that it is now.
I think we'll see a lot of nods
little things here and there. I mean, they've done it for Galaxy's Edge. Like, I don't know if anyone's really played around too much with the Disney Play app or Play in the Parks app, in the My Disney Experience app and all that. It goes ahead and like you can actually scan and read the text on there. Those cases and all that actually are all references to different things that were there for the backlot tour, different things like that. With this, in this area, they've already kind of done it. Or where Baseline Tap House is, that used to be called the Writer's Stop. And they used to use it for celebrity and author signings, and actually was a bookstore they had on property. And in the tap house, they actually have right above the bar some of the artifacts from the original store there. So they kind of preserved it in that way, and that's really cool to see. It's the same location that it was at the time, so that's awesome. But yeah, I think that I think there's going to be nods to it throughout the park and all that. I think a lot of the shows probably will still talk about it, like especially when they do some of the projections on. I don't know if they do any now. I think there is some nods to them. That's one of the ones that they do in the Chinese theater. I don't know which show it would be, but yeah, I think there's at least something. I think at least maybe with Miss Piggy or something like that in it. I'd have to check, but it's very subtle. But that's the way Disney is when it comes to this stuff. They want to showcase and spotlight the new, while being able to still kind of give nods to those of us that like to go ahead and dig deeper to find these hidden things. And go from there with it.
And to be clear, the photo that we're showing right now is of the former Writer's Stop that is no longer there, but they use for other purposes.
Yes, that is now Baseline Tap House.
Yep.
What you're looking at, and that used to just be just kind of like a little souvenir shop. They just used to have some different goodies in there, sort of thing, and just like your basic coffee shop or bookstore, a little coffee shop in there, that sort of thing. But yeah, man, I could definitely see some references that are gonna pop up. I hope we start to see some.
Nice.
What are your hopes and thoughts about that one?
I have to be honest, I would really like Villains Unfairly Ever After just opened. At the same time, they actually announced, which we're going to talk a ton about next week, that they're going to legitimately start doing that construction of Villains Land. I know they said everything was in active development last D23, that everything's happening, but like Villains, I was like,
Yeah,
I'll believe it when I
that
see
was
it.
a
I'll believe
drop.
it when I see it. But
Yeah.
they announced this week that they're actually shutting down the train for an extended amount of time. Not shutting it down; it's going to shuttle mode. We'll talk about it next week. But that means they're actually going to do Villains
Mhm.
Land, and they're going to start construction very soon, um, which makes me interested to see what happens with Villains Unfairly Ever After show, which we talked about last week. It's a pretty screen-based show. Um, there's not a lot of physical props, and I know they put a lot of money into it, but I think it could be easily turned over for a fairly cheap price. So I think that I think that if that show eventually left and then Muppet Vision 3D came back, I think that would be probably the greatest thing that could happen, and it would be right next door to the next coming Muppets attraction, which we'll talk to about next. So
I keep forgetting
yeah,
that is
they're right
down
next to
there.
each other.
That, like, where that Cars attraction was. I always used to forget about that attraction to begin with. I forget that whole
It's
other
way off the
area
beaten path.
exists. It is definitely it's away from the. I can't even believe you mentioned that, and it just dinged in my head. I kept thinking it was next to the Little Mermaid or something like that. Don't ask me why. Um, but yeah, no, that'd be crazy. I'd definitely like to see something pop up. I think it'd be the
Yeah.
place for it. You're right in saying that. We could mention this a little bit. We've kind of hit on it before that the Rock and Roller Coaster will be getting a new overlay to it that'll be
Yeah.
Muppets themed. So who knows? We might be seeing some props, and some different things from the show pop up over there. Um, who knows? I mean, that would definitely be the spot to go ahead and see it. Probably be a little pop up shop that kind of sits down there or something. If I had to guess, a lot of those little, like, not pop up shops, but the little carts out there
Yeah.
selling different things. I can see that, but yeah, that'd be the
more
area for it, man.
realistic
You're right.
though, I think they're going to put like a lot of this, most of that stuff in the Walt Disney Archives, some of it in the museum, and then they might bring it out for D23 events. I would really love to see a D23 Gold member event where they just screen the movie. I mean, they have the video, just screen it, and I bet people will go wild after it. You know what I mean?
I mean, with this new stuff they're doing with the Gold Theater, man, I mean, anything's possible now. I mean, they've really opened that up, and they show some pretty awesome, I guess you can call them artifacts once it's officially closed down. So that'd be, they can add
I
that to
could
the
see them
collection at
doing
that
like,
point.
hey, we're going to be doing a Muppet Vision 3D special. We're going to talk about the history of it, and then we're actually going to show the video. We're going to stream the video for you guys so you can watch it again. I think people will go nuts over that, and they think they will get a lot of people to sign up for D23 just to see that.
Absolutely. And, once it does close down, because as of June 7th, it will be officially closed. I'm sure you guys can all find it. We'll even probably drop a link to one of the someone that did a decent recording of it in the description here of the full show. So anyone that does want to go watch it, they can feel free. Because chances are by the time you end up watching this, the ride will be closed. So I don't see why we can't go do something like that with it. But no, I think you're right, man. I think that'd be an awesome platform to go ahead and showcase something like that on. And, like you said, put it in the archive or the museum
I
or
would like
something,
to
man.
see that, but they'll definitely do. I know they're going to do something.
Absolutely.
With it. It's just what.
Absolutely. Well, dude, not to go ahead and speed things up, but I got a pretty big finale, planned here, so I think we're gonna have to go ahead and get that going.
And I'll leave it to Sam the Eagle to tee us off.
Sam, are you about ready?
Lovely.
Yes, it's a glorious 3-hour finale. You got a minute and a half.
That about sums it up here, guys. Yeah, guys. I mean, Jared, I guess just take us into this. I
just want to talk about the future of Muppets in the Disney parks and what we're going to expect. So, while the physical attraction of Muppet Vision 3D is closing, we will be getting a takeover of the Rock and Roller Coaster that is currently Aerosmith themed, will be Muppet themed as a rock music festival with Teeth and the Electric Mayhem.
I could definitely see Animal just rocking
I
on
know
out,
that's
man.
going to
I
be
can't wait for
exciting.
it.
And we'll be definitely talking about that a ton more because I'm sure they're going to release concept art and details in the coming months in preparation. There's no timeline
Absolutely.
on that yet, though, so I wouldn't expect it anytime soon. We're going to be on
I'm
a
okay
little
with that.
Muppet hiatus, unfortunately.
It's going to be like Epcot without a festival, man. Just
Hollywood
weird.
Studios, Diet Hollywood Studios, right?
Diet Hollywood Studios. There we go. But yeah, that's going to be cool, man. The next thing here, they're going to be offering extended hours on the final day on June 7th. They normally close it down before Fantasmic starts, but you'll be able to go ahead and see it all the way up until park close, which I believe is like 10 o'clock that day, I
10
think.
o'clock for that day.
Yeah, so, and I'm sure that there'll be some really, a lot of tears shed, a lot of finals going on for that. So I'm really hoping I get to catch. I'm hoping one of the live streamers or
sure
someone's gonna be able
someone
to get
will.
in there for that
I'm just
last.
gonna say, if you plan on
I'm
going
hoping,
that day,
man.
just be prepared for crowds. It's gonna be a little crazy.
Yeah, I think that ride will probably see the most wait time that it's seen in a hot minute.
So Tim Tracker did a whole video on every detail of Muppet Vision 3D and Muppet Vision Courtyard and Grand Avenue, and he was taking us in the extended queue, and I'm like, I've never even thought about. Yes,
there's an extended queue for that.
I do have some pictures I want to share from my last trip. Really nice photos of Muppet's Courtyard, but over here on the right side, there's an extended queue.
What? I thought that was the gelato cart parking area
back there for when the line is actually long enough to go out of the theater.
Has it ever even been used?
There's actually some funny posters back there. I don't know if you noticed, but around the Grand Avenue area, they put little eyeballs and like eyelashes on a lot of things, and there's a bunch in the back over there. So
that's awesome. Yeah, there's that little cutout too of Statler and Waldorf in the front there.
I mean,
yeah.
I know.
That's
we're
awesome.
We're definitely
man.
gonna miss it.
I'm kind of sad I never get to see those posters. I'm gonna have to look up some of those pictures later on, man.
Maybe I'll make a 3D print file for
you. Oh, dude, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, the last time I was here was
man.
during Christmas,
awesome.
So that's why there's Christmas decorations. But
that's it's pretty there though, man. They did such a great job going ahead and doing all that. Yeah, there's the inside of it. Oh man,
Stage 3D.
That's awesome, man. It's really top secret. Awesome. Really top secret. And that means you got to stay out. That's awesome, man.
You showed this picture earlier, of the courtyard, the Miss Piggy water fountain, as they say, and the PizzaRizzo sign. I'm pretty sure from my understanding is this area is Grand Avenue, but also themed around New York. Like it's a New York pizzeria, but in the California area where Grand Avenue is set. So if you go on the PizzaRizzo, there's a lot of references to other pizza, like classic Italian pizzerias in New York, but it's set here. So very classic pizzeria kind of vibe in there.
Very, very like old Italy kind of vibes. Very nice, man. No, that's awesome. And it looks like too that there are some rumors floating around that some specialty merch might be dropping on its final day to commemorate the last day. I wouldn't put it past Disney. They do stuff like this from time to time.
I saw what ended up happening is I saw like an image that someone put on Threads. I don't even have Threads. I downloaded Threads just to see this post, and it was like rumor
devotion
Muppet
right there.
3D merchandise, and it was and honestly the photo just looked like this. So I don't know if it was something related to that. It might just be false advertising to get me to sign up for Threads, but I'm hoping they do something. I will just say if they do something, it'll sell out like that. And you're going to have to just be ready.
Oh, yeah.
If you're there and if you want it, you just got to be kind of ready, like rope dropping. But you ain't rope dropping the ride. You're rope dropping whatever they're going to release. I don't even know where they would put it. If they
Yeah.
did release it, my best guess was maybe they would put it in the back gift shop that they open for Jollywood Nights potentially,
I could, that'd be
or
about the
maybe
only
before
spot I
they
think they
put
would
over
open up
there.
for, because it might even be like a virtual queue they
Yeah.
open up for it or something. Well, it depends. I mean, I think it's too close for them to even announce. Like, it's usually virtual queue.
Yeah,
They
I
have to
would
announce a
think
couple days
so.
in advance. So
I don't know.
yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, no, I'm sad to see it go. Happy to see what's going to be going there, and yeah, man, I think this we talked, I think, about Muppet Vision as much as we can for now, and I think we're going to have to
Well, we
go
actually
ahead and
have
wrap
one
it up
more
there,
print
man.
that we did not. We have one more
We got
print
one more
to
print.
wrap up the show. It's the best one. I
What
saved
do
it
we
for
got?
last. It is the Muppet Vision 3D logo.
That
This one was a
looks
toughie,
amazing.
but I worked really hard on it, and I think it came out awesome.
It did, man. Yeah, Jeremy was devoted on this one. I remember he was messaging me back and forth. He was not liking
No,
having
it's
to go
very
do that.
difficult.
So, but we appreciate you doing it, man.
Image quality
It came
was
out great.
making me really angry, but I think it came out phenomenal.
It did for what you did, man.
This
It
one
came
has
out really
quite a
good.
few layers. As 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 6 or 7. The one thing I will note is you can add additional color for his I don't know what you would call this, his neck thing.
Let's
It is
just call it a
designed
neck
so you
thing.
can put another color on there. I only had one. I only had a dark green, and it would have looked funny with it, so I kept it this same color green. But I think it looks really awesome. I mean, the detail here is awesome.
It does, man. You did a great job.
And it matches what's on the attraction itself, like to the T. So
Yeah, no, you did a great job, man. I can't say that enough. And no, this whole this whole area, you've done a great job making all these prints for it. I think we have just about everything there that you could have a 3D print of. I mean, we get PizzaRizzo, you did Melrose, we got MuppetVision 3D, we got the 3D sign. I mean, we got quite a bit of prints.
yeah,
to
I
go
haven't
ahead
dropped
and
the Mount
showcase this
Melrose
week,
one.
man.
I'm still
So,
working on that. I didn't like the way it came out, the quality. So I might be releasing a different version in the future once I'm happy with it.
right on, man. Well, we appreciate it, and thank you for showcasing all those in our glorious 3-hour finale. But yeah, man, I think with that, I think we're gonna have to go ahead and wrap this up here, man.
Unfortunately, we have to say
Go away! Go away!
I think we're gonna have to, man. But all right, guys. Well, thank you again. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and next week we'll have a lot more to go talk about.
Oh my god!
Getting back to
much news.
Yes, a lot of news, a whole bunch of stuff that just dropped. But again, we
need to have his time.
No. Jim Henson and MuppetVision 3D needed its proper send off here. This show, this was his baby, and sad to see it go, but happy to see what we're gonna have going on next. So, anyways, well, thank you for visiting MuppetVision 3D, and we hope to see you again real soon. Take care, guys.